Hey, what's up everybody? 40 the Broadway Saiyan here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and I have a brand new mobile game that I want to show to you guys on my channel, which is going to be Tales of Crestoria by Bandai Namco. Now, if you guys are unaware of the Tales series, they are a really popular JRPG made by Bandai Namco. There's games such as like Tales of Legendia, Tales of Symphonia, Tales of Vesperia, and Tales of Eternia. Speaking of Tales of Eternia, I actually have my old imported PSP copy right over here. So I've played through some of these games. I've actually beaten a few of them back in the day, and I actually am really excited that they're actually releasing a mobile game for this that encompasses all of the characters from the different Tales series. So you got characters like Lloyd from Symphonia, you got Yuri, who I believe was from Vesperia, but all the characters from our favorite Tales series all into one game. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of a generalized playthrough of this game. Like, I'm going to show you the combat, we're going to do some summons, and just kind of give you guys my overall thoughts, because I'm actually having a ton of fun with this game. And something that I want to let you guys know is that unlike most mobile games where I find the story kind of lacking, where you just kind of want to skip it, I really like the story in this game, and it's also really dark. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't want to spoil anybody, but the story is kind of dark and it's really good. Like, I have yet to skip the story. And also there's voice acting, which makes the story even more engaging. So really, really cool game. We're gonna go ahead and get into it here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do a power-up quest. And I'm gonna, let's see, I'll do this one. Oh, quest period has already ended. What? All right, we'll do another one. Oh, all these are out. Okay, never mind. You know what? We're gonna do a story quest. Why not? We're gonna do one that we've already done. This one. All right. Cool, cool. So I'm not going to select the friend unit. I'm just going to go with this, and we are going to begin the quest. So you guys can see the combat. That's how I want to start this video off. All right, so, just like with any other mobile game, you're going to have, an auto, and you can actually speed up the animations. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to go ahead and turn that off so you guys can actually see the animations in full effect. For this game, we also, sorry, with all the voice acting going on in the background, it's kind of distracting, but we have an elemental system right over here. You can see in the top left-hand corner. So fire beats earth, earth beats wind, wind beats water, water beats fire, and then afterwards you have light and dark, which, are weak to each other. So it has that, typical elemental system that most gacha games have. And then afterwards in combat, you have different characters here of different elements. So like, for example, I have Lloyd right over here, and they'll have access to their basic attack, and then they'll also have access to their arts, which is kind of like their different techniques. And after you use it, so for example, if I use Lloyd's art right over here, right? I'm going to target this hawk. I'm going to use this art right over here, Tiger Rage. In order for me to use that again, you gotta let a certain amount of turns pass by before you can actually use it again. So the system is, pretty easy to follow. I like the simplicity of it. So we're just gonna go ahead and go right into it right here. Very cool. All right. So now it's the enemy's turn. And then if you notice, so when you look at a character, right? For example, Lloyd here, he has two bars. He has this HP bar, which is the top bar, the green bar, and then the bottom bar is going to be his Mystic Arts, which is essentially like his super move. And the way you build that up is you deal damage to the opponent, or if you target an opponent with their elemental, if you're targeting like an elemental weakness, that's another way to build it up faster. So that's something that's also really cool, because the animations, it goes into like their own animation, and they deal the damage, and it's just super, super fun to watch. But we're just going to go ahead and continue using some skills right over here to get through this wave of enemies. Alright, so now we have used up all of our skills for Lloyd. And hopefully we get to see a Mystic Art. Maybe the next wave we can use a Mystic Art. Alright, cool. Okay, so now that we have some Mystic Arts available, we're going to go ahead and see them in action. Actually, we have 3 available. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and use Lloyd's here. I'm going to target this enemy right here, and here we go. So they go into like this animation, and it's like them using their super move. Awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and finish off. And we're gonna use that mystic art next. So we got 2 mystic arts ready.
私は逃げないわ。なんだか動物っぽい魔物だね。お肉
Actually,
取
let's
れ
see.
る
I'll
か
start
な。
off with these 2.
お肉？いやハート。
We're gonna use Kanonos and also Micella.
ミゼラ、前に出すぎ。
All right, let's see Micellas.
後悔なさい。咲き乱れる白縫いのごとく、かの命をお振りしこうか。
Nice.
綺麗。
So the animations for this game are quite gorgeous. They really encompass, a lot of what the Tales series is all about. And like I said, the voice acting really just adds a nice touch to it too. Alright, so that is the combat system there. There's more to it too later on. Like there's like a combo system and like paying attention to the order, but this is just going over the game in a generalized fashion, so you guys kind of get to see the game in action. And then every character has an affinity, so every time you use them, you're going to increase their affinity, and they will reward you when you reach a specific level. So for example, with Vicious right here, I got him from affinity level 2 to 3, and we got 50 Gleam Stones, which is the currency that you use to do your summons. Speaking of summons, we're going to go ahead and do that. And it looks like we just got more Gleam Stones right there. Okay. All right. And something that I want to let you guys know too is that when you do start an account on this game, they're going to give you like a choice of an SSR to pick from. And I know from looking at different tier lists, the top 3 ones to go for, I think it's Leon, Estelle, and Velvet. I actually went with Lloyd because I love Tales of Symphonia. So if you guys care about like tier list, those are the 3 that I understand are really, really good. But if you don't and you're like, I just want to play with my favorite character, then go with your favorites, because we already know, most of these gacha games, if you play with your favorites, it's a lot more fun. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get those Gleam Stones that I just got, and then we're going to go ahead and do a multi-summon. Alright, so we're going to go to summons. Hopefully we can get an SSR. The rates are at, let me show you right over here. So it's 5%, 20%, 75%. And then SR is 95%, or on the 10th summon, it's a 95% chance of being an SR and then 5% chance of being an SSR. So decent rates for the 5-star, about a 20% chance to, 20% chance to get one. Or 1 out of 20, I mean. Sorry, 1 out of 20. 1 out of 20 chance to get one, not 20%. That'd be crazy. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do a summon right over here. I'm hoping for like Velvet, because she's really cool. She's from Tales of Berseria. But if we get somebody like Leon too, I'd be cool with that. Or Estelle, because she's a healer. All right, so let's go ahead and do a summon. So we want the little light wave that shows here to change rainbow. If it does that, that means we got an SSR. So let's see if we can get lucky. No, we did not get lucky. Aw, bummer. Okay, well, let's just see what we got. So what you summon for here is you either summon for their Memoria crystals or you summon for their characters. If you summon SR or SSR, you also get the character along with their stone. And the stone is something that you equip on a character. In a sense, it boosts their stats. And then anytime you get a dupe, you could just use that to boost up like their mystic arts. So kind of very similar to some other gacha games that you guys might have seen. So for example, right there, we got a new SR, so we unlocked the character, and we also got his stone. Okay. So unfortunately, we didn't get an SSR with this pull, but we got a hefty amount of SRs. Oh, I remember her. She was from Legendia. Oh, we got Chloe. Too bad she's just an R. All right, so we got him. Forget what game he's from. Alright, so that's going to be our 10 summon. And then we're going to go ahead and go into my roster here so I could give you guys a little bit more of how to the characters work and things like that. So there's characters and there's Memoria Stones. So if we go to our characters, so for example, let's go to Lloyd, right? So we got Lloyd right here. They're going to have their skills. You can awaken them by using Memorias, which I don't recommend that unless you're going to be pulling a lot and getting dupes. So right now, just work with what you have, especially if you're trying to be free to play. You can ascend them, which essentially, you're breaking their level cap. So in order for me to do this for Lloyd, I got to get these different equipments here, like Fur, Buzzer Talon, and Copper Chunk. You can get these by just playing through the story, playing through the different quests. They do drop from there. And then it gives you the stats right over here. If you hit train, this is where we could use the different elixirs that you could collect to be able to increase your level. So for example, I'll use this on Lloyd. And obviously, if you use an elixir that corresponds to that character's element, they're going to be getting a little bit more EXP versus if you were to use like a different element that they don't match up with. All right, so that's going to be characters, kind of like in a nutshell. Again, I don't want to go too deep into it. This is just a general overview. And then here are the Memoria Stones. So the Memoria Stones are essentially like, think of it as like a materia or something like that. Like, so essentially you equip it onto the character and they get like a stat boost, and it, you know, overall just improves their performance. Generally, you want to match them up, from what I'm understanding, with either the same element or the same like weapon type, or like even like, for example, like with Lloyd, right? If I go to my party right over here, if I go to party lineup, right? Like you could see how like my Lloyd also has the SSR Lloyd Memoria Stone. So if we go right here, right, I'm just gonna see what happens if you remove it. So we're gonna remove it, right? So you see how his stats drop, but if you give it to him, it's gonna increase his stats, and also it's gonna be giving him his Memoria skill. It's gonna improve his Memoria skill, his Mastery 6 Dual Blade, giving him a 30% damage to Dual Blade type allies Mystic Arts. So if you run Lloyd, because he is a Dual Blade, and you have this equipped, if you have other Dual Blade users, they're gonna benefit from that 30% extra damage from just by having this equipped. So that's kind of like in a nutshell how the Memoria Stones work. All right, and then afterwards, right over here, we have these substones where you could set different Memoria Stones you're not using. What they do, from what I'm understanding, is that they just improve your overall party's performance and stats. I don't know too much about it just yet because I'm still trying to learn the game, but generally that's what it does. So, and one more thing that I wanted to show you is there is some PvP. It's kind of like that. It's not real life PvP. It's more so like, you know, the computerized PvP where you select a party, you go into the arena, and then they put you up against a random other player's party, and then you just engage. You could do this up to 5 times with the little bar right over here, where that you could refresh. What is this called here? The arena entry tickets. So you start off with 5, and then once you run out of 5, if you want to keep going, you can spend Gleam Stones. I just let it run out, and then I just let the time pass, so then that way I can just let it slowly accumulate. But you can get some cool rewards here, and one of the rewards is actually the exchange rewards actually is a character that you could get. And from what I understand, this character is pretty good. Actually, you know what? I know where he's at. He's in the Arena Summoning banner. Let me go ahead and quickly show you guys that. So if you go into the Arena Summoning banner, right here, so you could summon Chronos, so you can get the tickets there and you can summon Chronos. So I'm gonna be doing a little bit more arena, so because I do want to try to get this character. I heard this character is really, really good for PvP, so really, really cool game overall. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think the combat is really simple and easy to understand. The story is, for the most part, really, really good and really dark, and the characters themselves are, you know, they're pretty memorable. It's really cool to see our favorite characters from the different Tales games kind of brought together into one game. So definitely a game that I recommend you guys checking out. If you guys want to see more content for Tales of Crestoria on this channel, please let me know in the comment section. I've also recently added a Discord channel on my Discord, which you can find the link for that in the video description in the pinned comments. So if you guys want to see more of this, let me know in the comment section. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys, but thank you guys again for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, and mahal, guys.